We're back. This is my self promo. There we go. There we go. So as quali gets underway for the final time this year, final quali of the F1 game, F1 22 game, and that final qualifying session for this season. Whereas Malik's already spun. So, who will take pole position in the final qualifying? It's been a tough battle between the Red Bull and Ferrari drivers. Roman putting up a real fight for Seiya, but Seiya has came out on top. Standings. There we go. So as Malik gets his lap started, let's ride aboard with him. So Malik comes through the first two corners. Yellow flags up ahead as a Haas driver has been there. I think he may have touched the wall, but Malik takes it nice and easy and comes across the first sector. 17.7 for the first sector. Try not to lose a bit on the exit. Yellow flags up ahead, no, behind, in fact, of the Haas going slowly. But Malik heading down towards the end of the back first DRS zone. Late braking into the first and one and only chicane. Up towards second end of the second sector, DRS wide open, flat out towards the new section of the hairpin. 53.4 as Jurgen takes provisional pole with 23.7. A little bit of understeer on the exit of the hairpin, but he's managed to keep it within track limits. Right, left into the last sector, last couple of corners, keep it within track limits, and he does well. Not pushing the limits as of yet, comes across the line and will set a 24.3 just behind Roman, who's at 24.0, but Wimble takes provisional pole of 123.6. And then Seiya beats that time of 123.3, so Seiya hasn't changed at all and is still taking provisional poles as of yet. There's Casper's and latest lap. Final board with Earthen as he comes around the final corner, and I think he had 2 preparation laps, so it's right on board with him for his first proper final lap. Into turn 1, doesn't lose the rear on the exit, goes through turn 2 where the Haas lost the rear of his car. Into turn 3, yellow flag up ahead of McLaren. That's within the first sector, purple first sector, 17.6. Time Brown's turn 4 up towards turn 5 now. It's just a straight DRS wide open into 8th gear. It'll be heavy braking around 100 meters down into 3rd gear for short shift up to 4th gear as he exits turn 6 up towards turn 7 as he comes across the middle sector. 53.8, long sweeping left hander of turn 7 in towards turn 8, 9 and 10. Taking it really well into turn 11. Turn 12 can easily lose the rear at any point or invalidate your lap. Last 2 turns of 13 and 14 keeps it well within track limits and up towards the line and sets the lap time of 125.2. Only enough for P8. There's Luke now.
Got to the final corner.
Up towards the line, so it's a 125.6, only enough for P10 with his teammate just coming up towards turn 5. It's a nice call, doesn't short shift up into 4th gear like we saw with Ayrton. Purple middle sector, but I don't think that is a fast middle sector overall. Now in up towards the last couple of corners, turn 12, 13, bit skirmish on the rear as the X turn 13 into turn 14, rounds the final corner of turn 15, misses the apex, climbs it across the line, so it's a 125.0 enough for P7. Who else is on that? Velocities on a lap. .1 for velocity in the middle sector. Into turn 12 and 13, really pushing the limits there. Into 14 and 15, misses the apex, but keeps it within track limits. Rounds the final corner, up towards the line, and will set a lap time only for P12 of 126.0. Casper is now on a lap as he comes up towards turn 4. It's a 17.7 for the first sector. Alpine need a good result here today, and if they want to finish 3rd in the championship. Casper into turn 5, short shift up to 3rd gear for turn 6. Now DRS wide open, heading down towards the long sweeping left-hander of turn 7. It's going to be at 53.7 for the middle sector for Casper. Rounds the long sweeping left-hander, a little bit of unsteer as he exits it, but keeps it within track limits. Into turn 10, turn 11, keeps it within track limits, pushing the limits quite a lot. He's taken more curve than what we've seen with other drivers as he comes across the line to set 125.2, still only left for P11, where Sam, his teammate, is set a lap time of 124.1, enough for P5. The one Alpine doing great, the other Alpine can't really find the pace as of yet with 7 minutes to go, and the velocities driving backwards for some reason. Yeetmex in the Alpha Tauri comes across the line to start his first fly-in lap. Good result here for Alpha Tauri. Can see them go 9th in the championship as he's a bit skirmish on the exit. I don't know if he's gonna back out. He's kept going, but that's the setup he's got on. Really isn't working for him. Into turn 4, and that's just a bit of a lag, but DRS wide open up towards turn 5. Into 207 miles per hour before heavy braking. Second gear taking a lot of, into 6th, 7th, 8th gear. Gets a good exit out into the final part of the lap. He's got a Mercedes behind him. Or it's probably Urson. No, it's Gervin. As there's a yellow flag, and it's been a pretty mare lap for the Max as it's only enough P14. So Saya with 5 minutes 40 to go, tops the timesheet 123.3. Plimble in P2 followed by his teammate Roman and a Mercedes in P4. Still all to play for in the standings. It's anyone, it can be Red Bull can still win the constructors, but they're going to need a big result here today if they want to win that constructors, as Malik now comes into the pits. So Pimble's up for another lap as the AlphaTauri is spun on his out lap, or on his in lap, sorry. Whereas Revlo will now begin his what could be his final lap. Oh no, he's just finished it as he goes P8 with 124.6. So Roman is on at out lap. Not far, his teammate just about out qualifies him at the moment. There's still a bit of time to go in this qualifying session. Can Ferrari bring home some glory, or will it be all Red Bull for this year's title? So, Roman coming up to the last 2 corners to begin his final, probably final lap of this session up towards turn 1. Braking around 80 metres, gets the car turned in nice and well, using all the track, pushing the track to its limits as he comes towards the end of the first sector, up towards turn 5, the 10th up on his previous lap time. Now DRS wide open up towards turn 6. Head late braking down into 2nd gear, doesn't short shift up into 3rd gear as he opens up his DRS in towards turn 8. It's either 7 or 8, I don't know. Still a 10th up, but slowly improving his time. Doesn't get any understeer. Now into 9, 10 and 11. Nice and easy on the throttle. Don't want to lose the rear. Keeps it within track limits. 2 minutes to go in the session. As it comes on the final corner, come across the line to go provisional pole of 123.3. However, Saya is on an outlap as well as Plimble. Can someone take Roman's provisional pole as Pimble will now begin his final flying lap? He will most probably get a tow from his teammate if his teammate backs off enough so that Aston Martin gets out of the way. They keep using up all the track as Stricker retires from the session. Now up towards turn 5 as his teammates waiting to give him an extra boost or extra tow up towards the second end of the second sector. Heavy braking around the 80-meter mark into second gear. No short shift as his teammate is there to give him a help. DRS wide open slipstream up towards the end of the second sector. Will he gain any time? 3 thousandths up on his time. No, 300ths up on his time, sorry. So barely gaining any time. As Saya is on a final flying lap as well. 100ths up on his previous time, so it is going to be close. As Pimble rounds the final corner and comes up towards the line to finish his lap and stay P3. So there's not going to be enough for Pimble to take provisional pole in this session. Can Saya do anything to out-qualify Roman? The session has finished. Saya, 2 more corners to go. Can he take provisional pole position? Can he take pole position? Jurgen still yet to set a lap, as he does. He takes pole position of the 123.0. Jurgen and Malik, as Malik bins it. So P5 only enough for Malik. Jurgen, just 2 more corners to go. Can he improve his position for the Mercedes team as he comes across the line, as he sets a 123.5, but still only enough for P4. Malik coming, it just had 4 corners to go and he binned it. Revelo, can he improve his position? Not really getting any time, but still 2 more corners to go in this of this lap. Rounds the final corner up towards the line and will set 124.4 and stays at P8. Pimble, don't know why he's carried on, but it's P3 for Pimble. Casper is not on a lap. So Saya takes pole position for the last race of the season, followed by Roman, who has been out-qualified by Saya multiple times this season in P2 and 123.3. Pimble P3, not far behind his teammate Jurgen, just a better lap and he would have been up there, but it's P4 for Jurgen. Malik in P5, sadly ruined his lap on coming up to underneath the bridge. Sam in P6, F1 Scenario P7, Revelo P8 for the McLaren team, doing quite well. Ali, just call him Ali, P9. Fire Legend P10, Luke in P11, Ayrton in P12. Casper, Velocity, Yeetmax and Shioka rounds off the grid. So still anyone's at the moment. Game in hand for Ferrari in the qualifying, but still 29 laps I believe before we find out who is our Constructors' Champions. I really hope I'm not racing, otherwise I'm going to have to retire. Okay, good. So drivers are picking their strategies. and the fuel load, getting us set up, sorted, make sure everything is sorted, and we will get underway for the formation lap. So here we go then, final formation lap of F1 22, the final formation lap of this season, and 29 laps ahead of us, and 29 laps to decide who will be the Constructors' Champions. Will it be Red Bull or will it be Ferrari? The most Mercedes could get is at P3 then in the Constructors, so Ayrton is going to need to do a big job. It's going to be a one stop or a two stop strategy for this race. Let's get all this set up, and then I will, and it looks like most of them are going for the one stop, but as we know, safety cars can change a lot. Sayer is going to be waiting a very long time as Strelka has still not even reached the hairpin, so his tyres are going to be freezing cold. So whilst we're waiting, I'm going to sort this out. 1, 2, 3, 525, and then so at the moment, if Red Bull stay 1 and 5, Ferrari will win the championship, but you've got 29 laps ahead of us as drivers are now formed up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the final time this year, and it's lights out and away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Roman gets away well into turn 1, and Sayers had a dismal start and is already down into P3. Roman, what a start for the Ferrari boys, who are now 1 and 2. Yervin under attack from Malik as there's yellow flags behind, and Strelka is out of the race, and there's a huge crash behind as it's a virtual safety car, and it's between Fire Legend and Revelo, who both hit the wall. Very minimal damage for Fire Legend, but Revelo has got no front wing, and it is a safety car on lap 1. It's an absolutely amazing start for the Ferrari boys, who look to secure that first place in the Constructors' Championship. Sayer having a really poor start on his medium tyres, drops down into P3. Yervin keeps his position, and as well as Malik, who was pressuring Yervin before that safety car came out. Let me just have a look at positions. Casper's made up 5 positions off of the start. Yeetmex made 4, as well as Velocity. Luke, Sam sadly losing a position, but F1 Scenario getting up to P6. So some of them having a really good start. But we have a safety car on lap 1. That's really peak for you then. really peak. But the McLaren wheel box as well as Fire Legend. So safety car will bunch to pack up, and what a local lap we have had to this final race of the season. Fire Legend and Revelo both boxing for soft tyres. So maybe they're gambling on another safety car later on in the race, but we have had one retiree so far in this race. But yeah, Red Bull need something really good to happen to them if they want any luck in their championship hopes. Saya has confirmed. I did say Saya did claim the drivers' standings. But can Red Bull do the double and claim both drivers and constructors? Will it be another season of Ferrari dominance for constructors? Ferrari, or can Red Bull, sorry, end their dominance? Let me have a look at previous titles. Yeah, Scuderia Ferrari. Yeah, so over the last couple of seasons, Ferrari have dominated the season and have won many constructors. Right now. Champions, that's what we need. Season 2, Scuderia Ferrari. Season 1, Scuderia Ferrari. So yeah, both 2 seasons, Scuderia Ferrari have dominated. So can Red Bull end their domination and stop them from getting a 3rd title? Safety car is coming in this lap. Jurgen is the only driver in the top 5 to have the hard tyres on, I've just noticed. So Roman will back the pack up as this overtakes at the back happening. But Roman will control the pace and will go when he feels like going. Pimble backing up Sarah even more. So as they come into the final corner on lap 3 for the safety car restart, we are underway. Green flag running once again. Saya gets a decent start, but Malik gets a better getaway. He looks to the inside but can't make the move down the inside, so has to stick behind for time being. Mercedes battling with Mercedes of Ayrton, battling with Fire Legend, but the Alpine of Sam looking to make moves on velocity of F1 scenario. Casper on the back of velocity on the back of Casper as Plimble all over the back of his teammate. Will he make a move down the inside? No. Malik looking to have a look down the inside of Yervin, but can't get the move done. But Saya really needs to find some pace out of nowhere, gets a really good exit and is on the back of Plimble. But Plimble even closer to his teammate than what Saya is, heading down towards the hairpin. Malik up into P4. That is going to be huge for their hopes in the Constructors' Championship. But Roman not letting Plimble by, as Roman keeps Plimble behind, as Ayrton has lost it and is at the back now. So Mercedes' hopes could be good of finishing third, could be up in the air. Fast lap for Roman on lap 5, as it is a Ferrari 1-2 and a Red Bull 3-4. Red Bull need to do more than this. Ferrari led by less than the race win. As Saya, Sam's binned it. Sam has binned it on the exit of turn 4 and is dropped down to P10. Luke under pressure from Fire Legend as they are now side by side heading up down towards turn 5. As Fire Legend has to cut the corner. He doesn't get a penalty for it, but he keeps his position. As Plimble now gets past Roman for P1, so can Roman do a good job and keep Saya behind? But Saya looking down the inside, looks to go down the inside, but can't get the move done. He had his front wing there, but chose to back out. Sam making up a position up into P9 now. So Saya all over the back of Roman. Can he make a move on the first DRS straight? DRS will be enabled this lap, I believe, so Saya will have the help of DRS down the back straight, but so will Roman to keep Saya behind. But it will be all down to who has the better straight line speed and the better setup. Saya into the hairpin, doesn't make a move, chooses to stay behind as his yellow flags behind, and it's Casper. Casper is out, and another safety car on lap 6. Lap 6 and a second safety car. Casper is out, and all hopes for Alpine is finished in the hopes of getting P3. So, safety car, another safety car, and this is turning out to be a really entertaining race, final race of the season. Mercedes still need Haas to have a bad result, because at the moment, let me see, so 10 points for 4th, 8 points for 5th. So, how many points? 186 plus 8. 186 plus 8. Wait, oh wait, no. 176 plus 8. So 184, and then Haas finishing. Oh, where's Haas? Oh, 5th now. Oh, Saya's boxed. Saya has boxed for new tyres, a new set of hard tyres, so it looks like he's going to end on those hard tyres. So Malik will carry on. So there's no point in really calculating it right now. We'll sort out towards the end of the race. Mercedes might only get the points from when I first became team principal, which is weird and outrageous. But Sam is the only Alpine driver in this race. Casper is out and the Aston Martin are not scoring any points for the last race of the season. So with that AlphaTauri, if they can score some points at the moment, which they are P6, and if Firelifting can find some positions, they can finish P9 in the Constructors' Championship. Unless Revelo has a really bad race, and the AlphaTauri lads can actually get up the order, get up the order and finish well, they can finish P8 in the Constructors, so it's still not over just yet for the AlphaTauri boys. As we ride aboard with Ursa, who is in P14, not showing any pace in that Mercedes, so I'm sure the Mercedes team principal is not going to be happy with Ursa in their hopes for P3. So Saya in P9, so will that help him? He will be on the much worn tyres towards the end of the race compared to Plimble and compared to the Ferrari boys. But it's all to pay for still in the battle for first. Safety car should hopefully be in this lap and we can get underway once again. Roman warming up his tyres as much as he can to get a really good exit to keep Malik behind this time. Hello to the 7 people that are watching. If you enjoy my commentary, like and subscribe. You'll also see me race around here. Race in other leagues, so I don't just do comms as well. But we are on lap 8, and the safety car will be in this lap. So Plimble will get us underway this time around, and Roman will be the one chasing or holding up. But Malik has got a big job on his hands to try and get past that Ferrari of Roman. As the safety car will pull into the pits now. As Plimble rounds the final corner to get us underway once again. Green flag running as Malik gets a really good launch up towards turn 1. Will he make a half look? He half looks down into turn 1, but Roman still ahead of Malik heading into turn 1. F1 Snowy had a bit of a wobble coming out of turn 1, but all the order stays the same after the safety car restart. But as Saya actually makes a move on the Alfa Romeo, as well as Velocity, who finds his way through as well. But Saya on a man on a mission, and all over the back of Ali for P7 as Velocity making a move down the inside of Saya and up into P7 as he goes down the inside of Ali as well, but they both collide as they both collide, I believe, but all is still going well. But Saya has to get back to the positions, and he's lost another place, so he's down into P11 now. Saya back up into P10, but he's still got a long way to go in this race. 20 more laps. But Malik not really doing much to get past Roman, as Plimble is now edging the gap to his teammate Roman. But Roman is also edging the gap to Malik. Velocity. Well, as Malik cuts the corner, sort of, and is under pressure from Yervin. So, will this be Red Bull's championship hope up in flames as we come down towards turn 5? But Malik keeps it ahead of Yervin, but as we saw in the background, Saya getting past Ali up into P8, now can get on the charge for Sam, who is in P7. Fire Legend up into P10, so the AlphaTauri boys scoring, both AlphaTauri boys scoring points. Let's say it's got a 2-second gap, as I say that Yeetmex bins it into the wall on the exit of turn 7, and I don't know if he picked up any damage, but he is now last, and it was really unfortunate for him, as both of them were scoring points and looking to get P8 in the standings. But safety, the DRS is enabled, and it doesn't look like Yeetmex got any damage, but Plimble has now got a 1-second gap to his teammate. But Malik still within DRS range of Roman. But Roman has got the much more ERS compared to Malik, who has drained his battery and is only on 20% now. ERS and DRS down the first DRS zone. One of 2 DRS zones. But still can't gain any time to Roman. However, Saya now 1.5 seconds back to Sam. Still a lot to do for Saya in this race, but at the moment he can be on for a win here, as there's a big pile up at the back. There's more collision. Yeetmex has somehow made his way back up the order, gained 2 positions, and it is in P12, and now it is on the hunt for Ernest, who is in P11 and is pressuring Luke, who was in the Mercedes, I believe, at one point. So Luke will be putting up a fight to try and get a Mercedes seat for next year, but Ernest trying to prove a point for his team. Ayrton, as Philogen gets 3-second time penalty now, so at the moment that will put him outside the points, but he's pressuring Ali's velocity, gets a 5-second time penalty now, and is out of the race. He DNFs in the pit lane. Haas won't be getting good points, as Saya looked like he outbraked himself, but he is up into P6 now, and can now get after Sam again, who's much closer to him now. So can Saya get past Sam for P5? He's gaining on him coming into the final sector. The final sector is not an overtaking place, but can Saya find an opportunity to get that overtake done? He's all over the back, as yellow flags for Yeetmex, who is now in P13. It's not going well for the AlphaTauri lads, as actually Fire Legend is in points position, as Sam just peels off and lets Saya pass. So Sam knows that is not his battle, and let's say a pass, who has now got a 3-second mission to get after Yervin for that P4. But the top 4 still need to box. Yervin can go longer on those hard tyres, and with that two safety cars, he could possibly go very long on those hard tyres, and is putting Malik under pressure, heading down in towards turn 5. But Malik keeps Yervin behind, and can he get on the attack on Roman? DRS wide open, slipstream, ERS, whatever he's got left. It doesn't look like he's got enough speed down the inside. Here we go. We're missing it. Looks to go down the inside, but Roman can't. Malik can't get past him, and now he's under pressure from Yervin. Meanwhile, whilst they're battling, Ali gets past. Is battling Fire Legend for P7 as they keep going side by side, and keep Yervin has actually got past Malik and is up into P3 as Malik and Roman both pit for fresh tyres. So Saya will climb up to P3 and will initially take the lead of the race, but will those tyres be able to hang on towards the end of the race? As Malik drops outside the points now. Will most likely drop outside the points. Let's see where they come out. Yes, he will come outside the points. Fire Legend has left. Maybe a connection issue. But Plimble still in the lead of the race. Yervin in P2, so it's a really good result for the Mercedes if it stays like this, but Yervin still needs to make a pit stop, so it's not confirmed, as Malik has actually got past Roman and is up into P10, so that is huge for when Yervin and Plimble. So can Malik get after, show some really good pace and not waste any time in getting up the grid? Because the more time he stays behind other drivers, the easier it will be for Plimble. And Yervin runs a bit wide, but he is up into P9, showing great pace on those medium tyres. And I think he started on those medium tyres, so he's going to have to box again. Malik will have to box again as he boxes for another set of medium tyres. But Fire Legend, unfortunate. Doesn't look like the AlphaTauri lads will be scoring any points this race. Ayrton, up into P5. So the Mercedes could be securing P3 in the championship, but Red Bull still have a lot to do for the constructors title win. We are on lap 15 of 29, and Plimble has got a 2-second gap to Yervin, but they are slowly hauling in on Yervin, just under 2 seconds of gap now. And Yervin can go longer on those hard tyres. There's a bit of a skirmish on the rear for Yervin as these hard tyres will start to go off slowly. But Ayrton, Fire Legend has joined back, so that's some hope as Plimble now boxes. So Sam will go up into P3 and can actually go to the end of the race. So will this be some hope for Red Bull? But where does Plimble come out? Will he come out behind Malik, or will he come out ahead? He comes up behind Malik. Plimble is going to be close. I think they're side by side. No, Plimble comes up behind Malik. So Plimble has lost a huge amount of time in staying out longer on those medium tyres, and Malik has done the undercut. But I think Malik does have to make another stop. Yemex gets a 3-second time penalty now. But Malik up into P6, but is at his official standing as Plimble looking to overtake Luke down the inside. But Luke putting up a really good battle as he's got 2 Ferrari drivers behind him, but both of the Ferrari drivers get past him and up into P7 and 8 and can get on the hunt for Malik. Let me just see at what tyres Malik started on. I don't think I'll be able to see actually. It's not showing me, so I don't think I can see what tyre. I think he started on the medium tyre, so he may have to box once more. But say getting ever closer to Yervin. Hang on, let me just have a look. At the stream. See if that'll tell me. As Yervin still ahead. How? Yeah, I went on Race Director and it just sent me back to the race, because look, Race Director. Oh, now it does it. Yeah, he has boxed for another set of media, so he will have to box again. So Malik has made a big issue, so he's now going to have to hope that there is another safety car in the race as Yervin now boxes lap 17 of 29. Has Malik ruined Red Bull's chances of getting P1 in the constructors standings? It's really heartbreaking as Ali's got past the Ferrari boys, so there is some hope for Red Bull. But Malik, has he cost Red Bull the constructors title? Lap 18 of 29. If he's going to want to do something, he's going to have to box on lap 22 probably for a set of soft tyres, but it's a big ask if he wants to score some good points for Red Bull. And he's catching up to P3 now. He's within DRS range and he's got a 2-second gap to the Ferrari boys, who have only just got past Ali. But Saya has got a 4-second gap now and could go on to win this race. He's got a comfortable gap to Plimble and Roman, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the Red Bull lot. Will Malik make a move down the inside? No. It's really hard to overtake into the final sector, but Ayrton cost Malik loads of time as Malik has lost 2 seconds to Plimble as Malik cuts across the track, and surely he's picked up some underfloor damage going across there as he's weaving to keep ahead of the Red Bull and the Mercedes coming down into turn 5. Would it be 3-1? No. Plimble knows what's online for Ferrari and chooses to stay behind. Gets a really good exit 3 wide coming out of turn 6, and Plimble has done a madness and is up into P3 now. Roman up to P5 battling with Ayrton and is up into P5 now and can get after Malik, who bins it and has surely picked up some rear wing damage now. It is all over for Red Bull. Red Bull have lost the Constructors' Championship. It's all over for Red Bull, and Ferrari will be Constructors' Champions once again. Malik boxed for another set of mediums, and from there it just went downhill as he now gets a 5-second time penalty. Malik has really hurt Red Bull in their chances of scoring these really good points over Ferrari, and is now going to be outside the points. And Red Bull's title hopes are over. Sayer will obviously get, will obviously claim the drivers' standings, but it's all over in the constructors' standings. But can Sayer go on to win this race? Mercedes will claim P3 in the constructors. Alpine in Alpine of Sam in P2. Doing well. What could have been for Alpine as well if Casper didn't DNF, but we have had 3 retirees. Velocity DNF in the pits. Jurgen scores the fastest lap of the race. Takes the fastest lap of the race. Ali boxes. Jurgen gets a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, Velocity retired in the pits, and Casper and Strelka both retired as well. Strelka on the first lap. But 8 laps to go. Malik up into P5. I don't think he actually picked up any damage. He might have been damage, but very little damage as he looks to overtake Revelo. But it ain't going to be enough, as it's going to be 7 seconds to the car ahead, which is everyone's scenario, and then a further 11 seconds to Ayrton. So Malik has cost Red Bull their hopes, as Revelo will get the second bite of DRS, but won't be enough going down into the hairpin. Plemble hunting down Sam. Can Sam keep ahead of Plemble and score a podium for the Alpine team? Or will the Red Bull boys come along and swoop P2 and 3 and secure and basically rub it in Red Bull's faces, as Ayrton boxes for a fresh set of softs? Revelo gets 3-second time penalty. Malik up into P5, but he does have a 5-second time penalty that will go towards him at the end of the race. So it could only be enough for P8 in this race for Malik, unless they, well, yeah, only enough for P8. As Jurgen, hang on a minute, Jurgen's on the back of Roman. Can Jurgen get past Roman for P4? Jurgen out of nowhere is picking up some pace and is all over the back of Roman, as there's yellow flags behind, and it's the McLaren of Revelo. He's getting going again, but we're on lap 23 of 29, and Jurgen putting Roman under pressure. However, Jurgen does have a 3-second time penalty, coming his way towards the end of the race. But Malik 5 seconds ahead of Ayrton. And doesn't look to be gaining that much time on F1 Scenario, who is 20 seconds behind Yervin. But Plimble slowly reeling in Sam with 6 laps to go in this race. As Sam has a rear end moment out of turn 6. But Seiya cruising to this win. Really unfortunate for him, he's done most of the work this season. Malik showing great pace throughout the season as well, but it looks like the Red Bull lot are just going to come off short this season, and we'll hope to get them in next year's game. As Yervin is almost pushing Roman through the final 2 corners. But the main battle is at P3 down to P5 at the moment. Malik's slowly gaining on F1 Scenario, but will Yervin choose to make a move? No, he sticks behind Roman. Now we'll have DRS to help him down the main straight, but that Ferrari powered car has just got too much speed for him, which is going to be really frustrating for him, as Revelo and Yemex are battling for P11. As the Alpine is now just 2 seconds ahead, so Plimble really catching Sam. So this could turn into a 4-way battle if it carries on. Yervin quicker than Roman in the final sector, final 2 sectors even, and around the final sector. So it's going to need to be a dive bomb if he wants to get the position. As he gets a really good exit out of the last corner. Will he make a move down into turn 1? He had a think about it, but chooses not to, and stays behind Plimble. It's going to have to be a desperate move if he wants to get going, but he's still staying behind Roman. He's not looking to make a move on the Ferrari driver. But Seiya 10 seconds clear of Sam, and it looks like he's going to go on to win this race quite comfortably. Plimble looking to catch up to Sam for that P2. Malik hunting down Scenario, but has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He has got the gap to Ayrton, but it's going to be tough as there's yellow flags. There's Fire Legend is spun, I believe. I think Fire Legend has spun and will be going to get lapped as Revelo weaving on the straight. Luckily no cars are around him. Leaks 3.2 seconds away from F1 Scenario. So as we head into, there's not really much to talk about now apart from Plimble catching up to Sam, who is now in his DRS zone. and this should be quite a comfortable pass for Plimble up into P2. And yep, up into P2, but Sam puts up a little bit of a fight, but not going to be enough, as Sam is now spun. Sam has lost it on the entrance to turn 7, and it's only going to be enough for P5. P4 for Yervant, and it's going to be a Ferrari 2-3. So if Yervant wants to keep that P4 position, he needs to make a move now on Roman. Actually no, we don't, as Sam is now boxed for a soft tyre, so it looks like he's going to go for the fastest lap of the race. As Malik gets a 3-second time penalty on top of his 5 seconds, so that's only going to be, it's going to be enough for P8 now. So he's pushed limits too far and is now dropping off of F1 scenario, and as he boxes Malik, boxes Yeet Mex, gets 3-second time penalty. He serves his 5 seconds, but he's gonna be outside the points by the looks of it. As he gets underway, he'll be fine. But it's been a really horrible day for Malik. All hopes were high going into this race for Red Bull, and Revelo is now just doing donuts, and that's really dangerous, because if that car wasn't ghosted, then could have caused a big crash. But lap 28 of 29 now, just one more lap to go in this F1 22 game, one more lap to go in this season 3 of ILR, and one more lap before we head over to the F1 23 game, where the handling will be better, the cars will be better, and hopefully more entertainment on the track from the drivers. It's been a fun season. Joined this league, and the racing has been absolutely pinpoint perfect, and we only have one more lap of this. So we're on board with Saya as we start the final lap of the race. Saya as Malik DNFs now, so Red Bull only scoring 25 points this season, to the end of the season off. Saya wins the drivers championship. Went into this race hoping for a Red Bull Constructors championship, ending Ferrari's dominance in this league of Constructors Championships, but that looks like it will have to wait until next year's game. Saya and the two Ferrari drivers have had an absolutely epic battle all this season, fighting non-stop, and have absolutely dominated this year's grid, absolutely clearing the Mercedes lot. And Saya with just four more corners to go of this year's game, of this season, will come round the final 2 corners into the final corner to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and end off what has been an absolutely amazing season. Trimble and the Ferrari drivers will come across the line to win their third consecutive Constructors' Championship. They will be pleased that Yervin will come home in P4 and will bring home a Mercedes P3 in the championship. Sam was looking good for a podium. Tyres fell off towards the end, but will come home for a P5 finish. F1 scenario that only has driver to finish in P6. Ayrton had a much better second stint and will come across the line for a P7. The Alfa Romeo in P8 and P9, Yeatmax and Fire Legend P10, and the McLaren of Rivolo in P12 with retirements. I think it's the driver of the day. And I have to wait for this. So there is your confirmation of the final race of F1 22 and final race of the season. And Malik, Velocity, Casper and Shirka all retired. Malik on the second lap to last lap. Velocity retired in the pits. Casper, I can't remember when he retired, but he retired at some point. And Shirka retiring on lap 1. Yevon took the fastest lap of the race, and I think that Ayrton, to be honest, done quite well, but I feel Sam was the driver of the day, done well, got unfortunate, but managed to pull off a P5 for the Alpine team. What a race and what a season it has been, and it's been fun. Thank you for ILR for letting me commentate the rest of the season, and hopefully for more action in next year's game, and can't wait. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next season.